Welcome back to ABC General Hospital. Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the brewing storm as Sonny Corinthos crashes Michael Corinthos. Intimate dinner with Jacinda Bracken. Threatening to unravel their carefully crafted romance in the shadowy undercurrents of Port Charles where alliances shift like the tides. Michael's bold move to solidify his alibi through this budding connection with Jacinda is drawing unwanted scrutiny from his powerful father. This latest development promises high-stakes drama as the mob boss's protective instincts clash with his son's desperate bid for cover in the escalating Drew Kane shooting investigation. Fans are buzzing with anticipation, wondering if this public display of affection will hold up under Sonny's piercing gaze or crumble into suspicion and betrayal. The Metro Court, that glittering hub of high society intrigue, once again serves as the perfect stage for this family confrontation where whispers of romance mask deeper secrets tied to Willow Tate's looming trial, as Michael doubles down on portraying Jacinda as more than just a convenient partner. The lines between pretense and genuine sparks begin to blur, setting the scene for explosive revelations that could jeopardize everything they've built. With Sonny's history of safeguarding his own from risky entanglements, this interruption feels like a ticking time bomb ready to detonate the fragile peace Michael is fighting to maintain. Let's delve into the details of this pivotal November episode, where one man's caution could spell disaster for another's freedom. Michael's determination to weave Jacinda into his life as a shield against mounting legal pressures has evolved far beyond a mere transactional setup, evolving into moments of unexpected warmth that even he didn't anticipate. Picture the elegant ambiances of the Metro Court, with its crystal chandeliers casting a soft glow over linen-draped tables as Michael and Jacinda settle in for what should be a serene evening of shared stories and lingering glances. This isn't their first attempt at a public outing. Recall how Nina Reeves previously crashed the scene with young W.Y. in tow, aiming to sow discord, but instead witnessing Michael's unyielding resolve as he proudly presented his son to Jacinda, transforming potential awkwardness into a heartfelt family introduction. That bold step not only reinforced their cover story, but also revealed Michael's growing ease in her presence as conversations flowed from light banter about Port Charles hotspots to deeper exchanges about dreams deferred by the city's relentless drama. On this new date, they'll savor gourmet dishes, perhaps seared scallops paired with a crisp white wine, while ensuring every laugh and touch is visible to onlookers, meticulously curating the image of a couple deeply entwined. Yet, beneath this facade lies Michael's strategic genius. By parading their bond, he's not just dodging questions about his whereabouts on the night of the shooting, but also humanizing himself in the eyes of potential witnesses. Jacinda, with her poised demeanor and enigmatic smile, plays her role flawlessly. Her background as a sought-after escort, lending an air of sophisticated allure that makes their pairing believable to the gossip-hungry elite as they toast to new beginnings. The chemistry crackles subtly, her hand brushing his during a story about a past adventure, his eyes lighting up at her quick-wit, hinting that this alibi might be fostering real emotions. A dangerous complication in a game where trust is The ultimate currency. This deepening rapport could be Michael's greatest asset or his Achilles heel. Especially as external forces circle like sharks, scenting blood. Sonny's untimely arrival at the Metro Court injects raw tension into the night. His brooding presence cutting through the romantic haze like a thunderclap on a clear evening. As the formidable mob boss navigates the crowded dining room, his sharp eyes lock onto the sight of Michael leaning in close to Jacinda, prompting an immediate surge of paternal weariness that borders on outright disapproval. Known for his ironclad control over Port Charles' underworld, Sonny has always viewed romantic entanglements as potential vulnerabilities, and Jacinda's reputation as a high-profile escort raises red flags that no amount of charm can fully obscure. He approaches their table with that signature intensity, his tailored suit and steely expression commanding silence from nearby patrons before sliding into a chair uninvited and launching into a conversation laced with probing questions. "So, this is the lady who's got your attention now?" He might growl, his tone a mix of curiosity and caution, forcing Michael to navigate the introduction with forced casualness, while Jacinda maintains her composure, though her fingers tighten slightly around her wine glass. The mob boss's reservations stem from years of hard-learned lessons about betrayal in the shadows of power. He's seen too many allies turn informant under pressure, and pairing with someone from Jacinda's world feels like playing with fire. This derailment isn't mere meddling. It's Sonny's way of asserting his influence, reminding Michael that no secret stays buried in their family's orbit. As the evening sour, the once cozy booth becomes a battleground of unspoken accusations, with waitstaff hovering awkwardly and other diners stealing glances at the unfolding spectacle. Sonny's hunch about underlying deceptions adds layers of psychological depth, portraying him not just as an overbearing father, but as a strategic survivor whose instincts have kept him alive amid countless threats. In the heat of the moment, Michael's defiance shines through as he formally presents Jacinda to Sonny, turning what could be a humiliating interruption into a defiant stand for his independence and strategy. With a steady voice, he declares, "Dad, meet Jacinda. She's more than just a date. She's got my back in ways you wouldn't believe." His words carrying the weight of conviction born from their recent shared vulnerabilities. Jacinda, though visibly unsettled by Sonny's aura of unyielding authority, the kind that has quelled boardrooms and back alleys alike, rises to the challenge, offering a polite handshake and a measured smile that masks her inner turmoil. She's no stranger to powerful men, but Sonny's reputation precedes him like a storm cloud, evoking tales of his ruthless dealings that echo through Port Charles' nightlife circles. This encounter tests her mettle. Does she falter under his scrutinizing stare? Or does she lean into the role, perhaps sharing an anecdote about a charity event they both attended to bridge the gap? Michael's happiness in making the introduction stems from his belief that transparency with his father will neutralize suspicions, but it only amplifies Sonny's unease as the mob boss detects the polished edges of their interaction that hint at orchestration rather than Organic affection. The scene pulses with familiar friction reminiscent of past. Corinthos clashes where loyalty is questioned and bonds are forged or fractured in private corners of public spaces. By standing firm, Michael is not only defending his alibi, but also asserting his evolution from Sonny. Shadow, a young man willing to gamble on an unconventional partner to secure his future. Yet, this bold move invites closer inspection, potentially exposing cracks in the narrative they've so carefully constructed. Sonny's pointed remarks during the confrontation escalate the drama, slicing through the pretense with the precision of a seasoned interrogator who knows how to expose weaknesses without raising his voice. He might quip about the convenience of Michael's sudden romance, his words dripping with sarcasm as he eyes Jacinda's elegant attire and poised responses, implying that such pairings are rarely as innocent as they appear. Poor Charles has a way of turning fantasies into nightmares. Hope you're not rushing into one, he could warn, his growly tone underscoring the dangers of mixing personal lives with high-stakes cover-ups. Jacinda, caught in the crossfire, feels the weight of his judgment, her mind racing through memories of past clients who wielded similar influence. Yet, she holds her ground, perhaps countering with a light-hearted comment about the city's unpredictable social scene to diffuse the tension. This verbal sparring reveals Sonny's multifaceted character. Beneath the tough exterior lies a father haunted by the losses he's endured. From Carly's deceptions to Jason's sacrifices, making him hypervigilant against any threat to his son's safety. Michael, sensing the undercurrent of doubt, pushes back with assurances of Jacinda's reliability. But Sonny's jabs plant seeds of uncertainty that linger like smoke after a gunshot. The exchange culminates in a private sidebar where father and son step away to the restaurant's dimly lit lounge, leaving Jacinda to sip her drink in solitude amid the murmur of oblivious conversations. Here, away from prying eyes, Sonny lays bare his concerns, drawing parallels to past family scandals where misplaced trust led to downfall, urging Michael to reconsider before it's too late. This intimate confrontation humanizes the mob boss, blending his criminal savvy with genuine paternal care and underscores the episode's theme of fractured trust within the current dynasty. Despite Michael's unwavering confidence in his plan, Sonny's skepticism introduces a chilling undercurrent of doubt, challenging the very foundation of this alibi that's meant to shield him from the Drew King case's fallout. In their hushed discussion, Sonny probes deeper. You really think she won't fold when the pressure hits? I've seen her type crack under less. Michael counters passionately, recounting private moments with Jacinda late night walks along the harbor where she opened up about her ambitions beyond the escort world, or quiet evenings where they bonded over shared losses that convince him of her loyalty. He insists this isn't just strategy. It's a connection that's grown authentic, with Jacinda proving her mettle by sticking by his side despite the risks. Sonny, ever the pragmatist, draws from his vast network of informants, hinting at whispers about Jacinda's nocturnal activities that don't align with Michael's timeline. This private exchange crackles with emotional intensity as Michael's Optimism clashes against Sonny's battle. Hardened realism evoking flashbacks to their own turbulent history of reconciliations and rifts. Ultimately, Sonny relents slightly, but vows to keep watch, his protective nature refusing to let Michael walk blindly into potential ruin. The scene masterfully builds suspense, leaving viewers to ponder if Michael's faith is justified or if it's the spark that ignites his undoing. All while highlighting the current men's complex dance of love, control, and survival in Port Charles' unforgiving landscape. At the heart of this turmoil lies Sonny's deeper hope that Willow Tate's trial will collapse under scrutiny, allowing the entire Drew Kane shooter saga to fade into obscurity without dragging his family further into the abyss. He's quietly pulling strings behind the scenes, perhaps consulting with Diane Miller on legal angles or monitoring police chatter to ensure Willow's innocence shines through. Viewing the case as a house of cards that could topple with the right push. Yet, Michael's heavy reliance on Jacinda as his alibi injects unnecessary volatility. A gamble that Sonny fears could backfire spectacularly if her story doesn't hold water. This paternal worry adds poignant depth, portraying Sonny not as a villainous overlord but as a man weary from decades of shielding loved ones from the consequences of their choices. As the dust settles from the dinner clash, Sonny retreats to his penthouse, pacing with a glass of scotch, his mind racing through scenarios where one lie unravels everything. Michael's overconfidence, born from those tender interludes with Jacinda, blinds him to the pitfalls. But Sonny's intuition screams caution, sensing the fragility of alliances forged in desperation. In the broader narrative arc, this subplot weaves into General Hospital's tapestry of redemption and reckoning, where personal bonds are tested against the relentless pursuit of truth. Lurking in the shadows is the precarious truth about Jacinda's actions on the fateful night. A revelation that could shatter Michael's defense like glass underfoot and propelled the story into even darker territory. She insists she spent the evening alone in her suite at the Metro Court after parting with Michael, citing a quiet night of reading and reflection to unwind from their date. But doubts creep in when considering her professional life as an escort, navigating Port Charles' elite clientele. Solitude might be the exception rather than the rule, especially on a night charged with the city's electric energy. Enter Ezra Bull, the shadowy figure, emerging as a prime suspect in this web of deceit. Wealthy, enigmatic businessman with ties to the underworld, whose late-night rendezvous with Jacinda could easily contradict her alibi of forensics or witnesses surface. Imagine the scandal. Security footage capturing her slipping into Boyle's luxury car, or a forgotten receipt from a discreet hotel bar placing her elsewhere, exposing the lie and painting Michael as complicit in fabrication. This potential betrayal isn't just plot fodder. It dissects themes of vulnerability in relationships built on necessity, where Jacinda's divided loyalties torn between genuine affection for Michael and the demands of her livelihood could lead to heartbreaking consequences. If proven, her duplicity would not only demolish the alibi, but also fracture the tentative trust Michael has placed in her, forcing him to confront the isolation of his choices. General Hospital masterfully teases this twist, building viewer investment through Jacinda's nuanced portrayal as a woman seeking escape from her circumstances, yet ensnared by them once more. Sonny's emerging suspicion about the Jacinda alibi forms the episode's ominous climax. A gut feeling honed by years of navigating treachery that positions him as the unwitting guardian against impending catastrophe. As he confides in a trusted confidant like Brickle that night, Sonny articulates his unease. Fragments of overheard gossip too send evasive glances during dinner, and Michael's uncharacteristic optimism all point to his setup teetering on collapse. This intuition isn't paranoia, but survival instinct, drawing from past betrayals like those involving Ava, Jerome or Valentine Casadini, where overlooked details spell doom. If Sonny digs deeper, perhaps enlisting Frank to tail Jacinda or cross-checking timelines, he could unear the Boyle connection, averting disaster for Michael while straining their father's son bond further. The storyline's genius lies in its layered foreshadowing, inviting speculation on whether Sonny's interference saves the day or accelerates the family's unraveling. Next, we will learn about the heartfelt reflections from Maurice Bernard's latest State of Mind podcast, where he and the timeless G. Francis pay tribute to their cherished departed co-stars. In a touching preview clip from Maurice Bernard's eagerly anticipated two-part State of Mind podcast airing on November th and RD, the beloved General Hospital icon shares an intimate conversation with Jeannie Francis, the enduring force behind Laura Spencer. This episode marks Francis's debut on the series, a milestone that feels especially poignant, given her nearly 3 decades of captivating audiences in Port Charles as one half of the legendary Luke and Laura duo, whose romance reshaped soap opera history with its whirlwind of passion, mystery, and redemption arcs. Bernard, known for his raw vulnerability on the podcast, has been building excitement for this installment, teasing fans with snippets that delve into the emotional undercurrents of their shared past. The duo's discussion uncovers layers of grief and gratitude as they honor the legacies of fellow actors whose presence has once lit up the screen but have since faded, leaving indelible marks on the show's fabric. Through this exchange, viewers get a rare glimpse into the personal bonds that fueled some of television's most memorable moments, blending nostalgia with a deeper appreciation for the fragility of life. In the entertainment world, Francis, with her poised grace honed over countless episodes of family turmoil and triumphant returns, opens up in ways that resonate far beyond the studio lights, reminding us how these fictional tales mirror real human connections. The conversation takes a deeply reflective turn as Bernard and Francis confront the profound losses that have shadowed the General Hospital family in recent times, creating a space for unfiltered remembrance that feels both therapeutic and communal. They begin by acknowledging the void left by these luminaries whose characters were intricate threads into Port Charles's sprawling narrative tapestry, from intense medical crises to sweeping romances that tested loyalties and sparked scandals. Bernard's approach is understated yet powerful, stepping back to let Francis lead the tributes, her voice carrying the weight of decades on set. As he gently prompts each name, she responds with spontaneous insights drawn from her heart, painting vivid portraits of camaraderie amid the high-stakes world of Daytime drama. This format not only highlights Frances's eloquence, but also underscores the podcast's mission to foster healing through honest dialogue, inviting listeners to join in mourning while celebrating the enduring impact of these artists. The segment evolves into a mosaic of personal anecdotes, revealing how off-screen friendships amplified on-screen chemistry and how the sudden departures have prompted a collective reevaluation of the soap's evolving dynamics. In essence, it's a testament to the resilience of the cast, who continue to channel these memories into fresh storylines that honor the past while pushing forward. Kicking off the remembrances is Tristan Rogers, the charismatic portrayer of Robert Scorpio, whose suave spy-like escapades brought international intrigue to Port Charles and captivated fans with his roguish charm. Frances's eyes light up as she describes him simply as delightful, a word that encapsulates his effortless charisma and the joy he infused into every scene. Whether disarming villains or navigating the emotional minefields of his relationships with Laura and others, she elaborates on his multifaceted talent, praising how his commanding presence and nuanced delivery made him a standout, one who could seamlessly transition from soap intensity to the silver screen's grand. Rogers, who succumbed to lung cancer in August after a valiant fight, had wrapped his final General Hospital appearance just a month prior in July, leaving audiences with a poignant farewell that echoed his character's unyielding spirit. Frances imagines in thriving in Hollywood blockbusters, perhaps as a debonair lead in action thrillers, his Australian accent adding exotic flair to global adventures. This tribute delves into Rogers's broader influence, noting how his Scorpio role inspired a generation of viewers to embrace adventure and loyalty, themes that still ripple through current plots involving espionage and family secrets. Her words evoke a sense of what could have been, while affirming his rightful place among daytime's elite, a star whose light burned brightly until the end, touching lives both on and off the set. Shifting to Leslie Charleston, General Hospital's longest-serving cast member, who embodied the resilient Dr. Monica Cordine for over 4 decades. Frances transports listeners back to the early days of her own journey on the show. Charleston passed away in January, a loss that prompted the series to craft a heartfelt on-screen exit for Monica in September, blending the actress's real life legacy with her character storied battles against corporate intrigue, romantic betrayals, and health scares that mirrored the vulnerabilities of everyday families. Frances recalls with vivid clarity their first shared experience on live television. A nerve-wracking milestone where the pressure of unscripted moments tested their mettle. She shares a tender story of Charleston's line flub during that initial scene. How the seasoned performer masked her frustration until the camera stopped, then broke down in tears, prompting Frances to embrace her in mutual solace, both weeping as the adrenaline faded. This anecdote highlights Charleston's humanity beneath her professional poise, illustrating the sisterly bond that formed amid the chaos of production schedules and improvisational demands. Frances analyzes how Charleston's tenure anchored the Quartermain dynasty, providing stability through economic downturns and personal heartaches that fans followed like their own kin. The tribute extends to imagining alternate paths Perhaps Charleston mentoring young actors in theater workshops, or penning memoirs on the evolution of soap storytelling. Her wisdom forever etched in Port Charles's history. It's a reminder of the quiet strength she brought, influencing not just episodes, but the very culture of perseverance in the industry. Next, Bernard brings up Jackie Zine, the beloved Bobby Spencer, whose warm yet feisty portrayal intertwined seamlessly with Frances's Laura in scenes brimming with maternal wisdom, sibling rivalries, and the gritty underbelly of Port Charles's secrets. Zine's battle with cancer ended in cutting short a career that spanned nursing drama to scandalous family revelations, always delivered with an authenticity that made her a fan favorite. Frances's response brims with affection as she declares, Jackie Zine, I loved her so much. Her tone laced with the intimacy of true friendship, forged in the trenches of long shoots and award season gaias. She confesses a playful admiration for Zine's effortless coolness, recounting how she once hesitated to accept lunch invitations from her big sister figure, intimidated by the actress's magnetic confidence and the effortless way she balanced motherhood off-screen with high drama roles. These outings, Frances muses, could have been casual coffee chats, turning into deep dives on character motivations or light-hearted gossip about set mishaps, strengthening their on-screen sisterly dynamic that explored themes of redemption and unbreakable bonds. The analysis here touches on Zine's pivotal role in elevating ensemble storytelling, her chemistry with Frances sparking arcs that delved into forgiveness and female empowerment amid the show's male-dominated intrigues. Inventing a hypothetical, one envision Zine advocating for women's health initiatives post-retirement, her advocacy mirroring Bobby's nurturing spirit and inspiring real-world change. Through it all, Frances's words paint Zine as a beacon of kindness, whose absence has left a softer spot in the cast's collective heart, yet whose influence lingers in every heartfelt exchange. Rounding out the poignant list is Tyler Christopher, who first breathed life into Prince Nicola's Casadini, a role defined by brooding intensity, royal conspiracies, and a tragic quest for love that often clashed with the Casadini clan's dark ambitions. Christopher's untimely passing in shocked the soap community following years of personal struggles that echoed his character's turbulent path. Frances, with evident tenderness, dubs him a beautiful angel, her voice softening as she reflects on his ethereal quality, the way his expressive eyes conveyed layers of vulnerability beneath the aristocratic facade. She poignantly adds, he was not equipped to live in this world, a phrase that captures the profound sensitivity he brought to Nicola's, making the prince's downfalls and redemptions all the more heartbreaking for viewers invested in his romances and rivalries. This remembrance invites a closer look at Christopher's craft, how he infused the role with raw emotional depth, turning potential soap clichés into explorations of mental health, addiction, and the search for belonging, themes that hit harder in light of his own challenges. Frances shares imagined scenarios of what might have been Christopher directing indie films with psychological twists or guest starring in prestige dramas, channeling his inner turmoil into art that heals. The tribute underscores his lasting imprint on Port Charles, where Nicholas' shadow still haunts ongoing feuds and inheritances, a spectral reminder of the human cost behind the glamour. It's a call to cherish such talents whose departures prompt the show to weave and meet elements of loss, enriching its narrative with authenticity. Bernard, ever the empathetic host, interjects with his own insights, revealing a late blooming appreciation for these icons. After hosting them on previous State of Mind episodes, experiences that unveiled their inner beauties beyond the characters they portrayed, he confesses a sense of awe, saying, "I was like, wow, these people are beautiful. I just didn't know them." Highlighting the podcast's power to bridge generational gaps within the cast and foster connections that might have eluded him during active filming. This admission adds a layer of humility to the discussion, showing how shared grief can spark newfound respect and unity among colleagues who've navigated the soap world's relentless pace together. Bernard envisions future episodes expanding on these themes, perhaps inviting more veterans to unpack the emotional toll of the industry while celebrating its joys. In wrapping the segment, he and Francis exchange a knowing glance, their bond strengthened by this ritual of recall, offering fans not just spoilers, but solace in the face of change. This podcast glimpse reaffirms General Hospital's role as a cultural touchstone where remembering the lost keeps their spirits alive in every twist and turn ahead.